Good morning. This is The Good with Dr. Joe. I should not have said good morning. I should have said hello because we're in the middle of the day.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Welcome to The Good with Dr. Joe.
Hello, Ms. Noah. Thank you so much for that beautiful welcome intro. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Just as Ms. Noah said, it's 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 Pacific, and 5 p.m. London, England. You know, we're going international. We're going global. So we're trying to do that so that we can reach as many people as possible. As you know, our passion here is to get information. We find information. We look for information to empower the small business owners. So we are all about helping small businesses get information to help them succeed. Now, if you're new to our show, it is called The Good with Dr. Joe. We, in spite of what is going on, we always try to find what is good in every situation we're in.
And this is Dr. Joe.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be looking at the stimulus package. We have heard a lot about this in the last couple of weeks. We sure know that we need it. So we're going to talk about what it's about. We're going to talk about how you can help make it happen. I realize that if we just leave it to the politicians, it may not happen until next year. So we know that you and I, as business owners, as employees, as people who have families to feed, we need income coming.
What can we do to make it happen?
Actually, there's a lot that we can do to make this happen. We have our senators, we have our members of House of Representatives, and we can actually contact them using if you go to Google, just Google their name, Google either your zip code or your...
You can send emails.
Yeah, you can send email too. Yeah, you can send email. You can call, but I prefer call because they can see your passion. They can see your pain when you call to let them know that this is what I'm dealing with right now. All right, let me just get a very quick overview, and then Ms. Noah is going to tell us whenever the stimulus happens, what is going to cover it, so that you know exactly what is in this for you. All right. So for a lot of people who are standing, I'm going to give you just a brief overview, and then after that you tell us what it does. For a lot of people who are standing on the sideline. Now, there was a lot of people who missed out on the first go around for the stimulus. A lot of people missed out on the Paycheck Protection Program. A lot of people missed out on the EIDL because they were not sure. Okay, here's the fact. Here's the fact. Whether you like it or not, this stimulus package, this fund, is coming from our Commonwealth. Whatever belongs to America belongs to all of us because we're all part of taxpayers. We pay tax. One way or the other, you pay tax, either from employee payroll taxes or when you buy stuff, you shop, groceries, whatever. There's some tax somewhere. You are part of the people who pay into that common pot, Commonwealth. So if they're taking some of that money and giving it back to everybody, it's still our money. Guess what? When they need it back, they know how to get the money back from your taxes. Look at your property taxes and tell me in the last 5 years how many times your property taxes went down.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with federal tax.
No. Well,
it's local.
I understand that. A lot of these packages, they also assess part of it from the local, like the unemployment benefit. That comes from local. That doesn't come from federal. Even though the federal also does part of that.
Well, see, federal might be helping out with it, but it's local money.
That's what I'm saying. So the unemployment tax, state unemployment tax, comes from the state, and somehow they get a little bit from the local economy. All right. So the other thing is that when it is time for them to get the money back, especially the federal, they look for ways to get it back. So you can't just stand on the sideline and say, okay, no, this doesn't bother me. I don't want to be involved. A lot of people say,
now, do you know where your taxes go? You know what your taxes are for?
I don't
Your
know.
federal taxes, do you know what they're for?
I don't know.
They're to finance the operation of the government.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
not to come back to the people.
Oh.
No. See, government
Yeah.
has to have an income
Yeah.
to operate just like a business person has to have an income to operate.
Yeah, I understand that. I
A
understand
church has to
Yeah.
have an income
Yeah.
to operate.
Yeah, no, Miss No. The taxes. My taxes cannot just be operating the government. My taxes has to take care of my roads, have to take care of infrastructure, has to take care of all of this stuff. Now, a lot of this government, like all these what do you call it, the projects that they have. You have a project about building building a pond for pigs and all that.
But now that's the personal projects of the people you send to Washington, D.C.
That's my problem.
And that is not where government money is supposed to go.
And that's where it's going. That's part of what is holding the
So that's
stimulus
why
now.
you got to be careful who you elect.
You see? So
And so they got up there and they make their little deals. Well, now, if you'll go with me, I'll vote for you to get your pond enlarged.
You see?
And you vote for me to get the artworks in my city. And that's not what our taxes are to be used
the
for.
taxes are supposed to be to help the people, because you are paying taxes to help people, to help fix our problem. We're having calls already, so please hold off on the calls. We're going to take calls in a few minutes. So when we're ready to take calls, we'll let you know. Please just hold off on the calls. I know this is a hot topic. Okay, so now, Ms. No, why don't you tell us some of this stuff?
Okay.
Whenever this stimulus package does pass, this is some of the stuff we're expecting it will cover. So go ahead and tell us.
Now, I got this off the internet. Says U.S. Postal Service, virus testing, vaccine distribution, a $1,200 stimulus check like they sent out earlier this year,
Okay.
a $400 extension on unemployment benefits, $28 billion. Billion, that's a lot of money, in student relief benefits.
Wow.
Now get a choke on this one. $150 billion in funding for education.
Wow.
That's what they showed on the internet. It's supposed to be in the stimulus package.
Okay, I do know that there's also a little bit more. I know they talked about there's a little bit of money left from the previous PPP program that they're trying to bring back. How that's going to come back, they haven't decided yet. But just like Ms. No just shared with us, there are a lot of different stuff for different people. I do understand that SBA and Congress and the Senate are trying to make provisions for some part of the economy that was not taken care of before. Now, let me tell you this. Look at industries like the airline. Do you know how much the airlines are getting? They're getting big bucks.
And it's not the first time.
You see, it's not the first time.
No, remember in 2008,
Yeah.
when Obama was in office, he gave them millions of dollars.
So the point I'm trying to make is that you imagine how much profit the airline make. And then now the airline also getting this big amount of money from the federal government.
And we're paying more for Texas for tickets, and now we got to pay for baggage shipping.
You see? So they're doing all of that. So the point I'm trying to make is that, as a small business person, as a small man out there trying to survive, you have a lot of reason to be involved in this process. You have a lot of reasons to be involved in this discourse. Now, here's what I want to encourage you guys to do. I remember for the PPP, I had to start a petition. I had to start a petition for them to forgive $25,000 or less from the last PPP. So that was one of the petitions that I had to start, and I was so glad that somebody has picked it up and raised it to $50,000, and that's why we're able to get that $50,000 forgiven. So now for this new stimulus package, please call your representatives, call your senators, and let them know they need to get that done now. They are pushing it far too long. Now, if election comes in guess what? If we don't get it done before the elections, you don't know how much longer it's going to take.
Till the first of the year after.
So I mean, how many people can wait that long? There are businesses that are closing. Now, for businesses, you need to be open to be part of solutions to the community.
Well, yes, and most businesses, their busiest time is
Holidays.
Coming up with Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they need to be open.
Absolutely. And if you're going to be, this is October 21st. So in order for you to even be prepared for Thanksgiving and the rest of the holiday season,
Right.
this is really the time that get your inventory.
Well, yeah, because if you have your inventory for Christmas, you'd have to have it ordered by the 1st of November.
Yeah. Just today, I was just talking to a close associate of mine. We're talking about ordering the turkeys for the Thanksgiving. So on and so forth. So now, even if you get this stimulus package signed today, it's going to take a couple of days for it to actually begin to be.
Oh, it'd take weeks.
Active,
weeks to get all that.
To disperse and all that.
Yeah.
So we're in it again, and so this is what I'm saying. Call your senator, call your representative, and tell them they need to get on it. We need it right now. Okay, so about 12:11. Okay, so we can start taking calls now. We're going to open up for calls, or we'll continue to conversate. All right. The phone number to call is the 678-708-4567. 678-708-4567.
Joe, do you ever wonder where the money comes from?
Which money?
All this money they're giving away. Where does 150 billion come from?
I don't know. I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of startles me.
Yeah.
When you say 150 billion, that wakes me up.
I'm glad you're awake.
Yeah. I want to know, where does that come from?
I'll tell you what, if you look at the amount of taxes that goes into Treasury, the amount of taxes that go into Treasury. I mean, you now imagine the number of businesses in America. Remember, try and pull up the number of employees in America. And everybody pay, that little thing called FICA, that goes to the government, No,
it goes to, and FICA doesn't go to the government.
Where
It
does
goes to Social.
No,
Social
come on, man. The government is in charge of all of it.
FICA goes to Social Security.
Miss No, who is Social Security? Is that your grandfather?
It's a separate department from the government.
It's a government. You are just saying it's a separate department from the government. It's government. Where did you hear when?
It's
who
just
was
like IRS.
Yeah.
You say that's part of the government.
It's part of the government.
Did you know that there is a whole set of different laws for the IRS? Whole set of different law books over there in the county office.
Yeah, Miss No, we understand that, but the problem is that there's still the federal government that caters for all of it. One quick second. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You're on the line. You're on the air.
Okay, so what I recently learned is that they're printing all the money, and money doesn't have no value no more because they stopped putting the gold strips inside the money, which made it valuable. So if money is nothing right now, it's just printed. It's just being printed. It's paper. It's worthless.
That's right.
If they can just print how much ever they want, just to get the people to jump or do whatever.
If you don't have the gold to back it up, it has no value.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And now, whether we like it or not, at some point, you're going to have to print, even though with the printing comes some regulations on how to make sure that you still keep the value. But I think my overall comment was the fact that whether it's printed or whether it's collected, we are all part of the Commonwealth. So the wealth belongs to everybody, so that you don't have a few people who feel that they're entitled to it. And then there's some people who are suffering and not getting anything. That's my point.
My point is, if you want money, you go out and get a job and work.
Yeah, that's one way to get it.
And if you don't get a job and go out and work, then it's not my obligation to give my money to you.
Okay, let me ask you this. How do you get a job when everywhere is shut down? you know, Europe, they shut down again. I know England.
Well, they're
they
having
shut down
a fresh attack of the virus.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that.
All of Europe seems to be having a reoccurrence of the virus.
Yeah.
Of course, with everything shut down, you
Yeah.
can't. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about when things are opened up.
No, what we're talking about is stimulus. This stimulus, is not. Yeah.
Okay.
This stimulus is for when we are trying to deal with the issue of the virus.
Now, I can't comment on that because I've never experienced it before.
Okay.
And God has blessed my household, so we have not had a problem. If I did not have money coming in and I only lived from paycheck to paycheck and no longer had a paycheck, I'd be in big time trouble.
That's the problem.
Now, we have multiple churches and other organizations who are handing out food.
Okay.
And that's happening all over America.
Okay.
And praise God, there's people out there willing to do that and help the people in need. But I really don't know what you would do. I know there's a lot of people helping out.
There are a lot of things you can do. You see, there are a lot of things you can do. Number one,
I guess you could go hunting. go out and hunt some deer.
Well, that's one way you can get it. You know, that's what you can do. But the thing is to be involved in the process of governance. You know, you were saying one time before, government. This is government by the people.
Well, why don't I tell you something where you could really get self-help?
Yes.
You know, we don't know how this is going to be like next year. People ought to be planning a garden for next year.
Okay.
Grow some vegetables yourself instead of depending on someone else.
Okay.
And they have these community gardens.
Okay.
And they're all over Georgia. They got them in Lilburn. They got them in Snellville. They're all over the world. I saw a show on it on TV the other day. In the United States, these community gardens. Like New York City, if there's a vacant lot, they go together, these group of people go together. 30 people had different gardens in this plot of ground. So, next year, we don't know what it's going to be like. Right now, plan yourself to put in a garden this spring and feed yourself.
Yeah.
You know, there's things you can do ahead of time.
So, exactly what they're saying is that you can do something. And essentially, that's what our podcast is about. That irrespective of what you're going through, irrespective of the situation, find some good.
Yeah.
And apply yourself.
Right.
Do something about it. That is what this is all about.
Do something for yourself, not waiting for somebody else to do it for you.
Yes. It always starts with you. I remember when the pandemic first hit, and I think it was February or March, and everything was doom and gloom. That was enough to cause a lot of depression.
Sure.
That was enough to cause a lot of people to commit suicide and things like that, you know.
Right.
So one of the motivation that I had that made me start this podcast was to find a way to say something good. Find out what you can do. What can you do in this situation like that?
And you know, instead of sitting at home whining,
yes,
it just occurred to me, you could go into an area where you have higher income and people aren't so hurt with the loss of income and offer to wash windows, wash a car. You know, I'd be happy if somebody come to my door and said, "Can I wash your car?" I'll wash your car for $20. I'd be real happy if somebody do that. This is what I'm saying. You know, to reinvent yourself and get out and do, and not only that, keeps your mind in better health.
So that's one way to do it. You know, my side of what I think is that let's help those who were sent to Washington. Those people were sent to the Senate or House of Representatives. A lot of them don't know what is going on here if you don't let them know. We have to keep the communication line going. We want to send emails. You want to write letters. You want to make calls. I'm really very strong on this because I know that it does work. You know, I made several calls. I started before. I started the petition, and they are responding. So this particular stimulus package that's hung up in negotiations, we need to push it through.
I think you're right, Joe.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Those are things they should be doing. And also, you should start helping yourself and not waiting for somebody else to do it for you.
We need to do that. We need to call. We need to try and get the holidays are coming.
I know, yes.
So the holidays are coming. People need hope. People need help, to get there. I know that this topic is also a little bit controversial. The issue of what's the best way to prevent the virus from spreading, the COVID-19. The best way to prevent it from, I say common sense. Common sense is one useful thing that we can do. I know there's debate here for and against wearing masks. Yes, go ahead.
How much time do we have?
We have about 4 more minutes.
Okay. Got my hair cut yesterday by a lady from Vietnam. Vietnam has had very, very few cases of COVID-19. And nobody has ever died in Vietnam from COVID-19.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Okay.
She's sure. Her family's over there.
Okay.
And they, even before the virus hit, because their air is so toxic over there, when they go out, they wear a mask. Always. They never go out without a mask. And so they were already covered. And I think, therefore, they think that the virus hasn't spread over there because they're not in each other's face and breathing and sneezing and coughing and on and on.
I'm learning some few things about the benefits of face mask.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes if you leave and really, what do you call it now, areas where you have trees and brushes and stuff like that, and sometimes you have all these bugs flying around.
Oh, yeah.
That you cover yourself, it covers you from breathing in those flies and all this stuff.
Yeah, the no-see-ums.
Yeah, I have caught a little bit of those,
Yeah.
I caught a little bit of it. So now it's really very easy for me, comfortable for me, like early in the morning or late in the evening, or sometimes when the light, what do you call it, the sun is going down and darkness is coming up, just put that thing on and it keeps away these flies from your face, which is good. Do we have any questions, any more comments before we bring this to a close? Any comments on the Instagram? All right. So, Ms. Noel, do you have anything else to add before we call it today? Today we're ending early today because we have to go. We have to go get on the Congress on this. I was really expecting some good news today. Yesterday, Tuesday, they had a deadline. They were negotiating. They were meeting. I was thinking that something was going to come out. I was really expecting. Ms. Noel, for all that you know. Do you know that I have not gotten my first stimulus check yet? I haven't gotten that, the $1,200 that was sent out. I think it was spring this year.
You should let them know.
Yeah. So I have to let them know. I haven't gotten mine.
Don't you let your bank know?
No, it's not the bank. It's the
well, somebody
IRS.
said, though, you notified your bank.
No, it's the IRS. Because my wife got hers. My son got his. My daughter got hers. So I'm the only one.
Now, did everybody get that? Or was it only certain people under, was there a maximum income bracket?
Yes, $75,000 or less.
Well, maybe that's why you didn't get it.
Yes, if you earn $75,000 or less, then that's a household. Then you don't get. So, but if you get $75,000 or less, then you get.
That's what I'm saying. You get the check.
Yeah. So if you get $75,000 and above, then you don't get the check.
Well, you don't need it.
For me, with my income, we did qualify for it. So I don't know why we didn't get it.
Well, I guess you did since your wife got it.
And there's several other people like that are in the same situation.
I thought they said you let your bank know if you didn't get it, but maybe I'm wrong.
The bank has something to do with it.
It usually goes through the bank.
Yeah, all you need to do is to make sure your bank information is correct.
Now they did an automatic deposit to me.
Yes, it's automatic. Yeah. So, and that's because your information.
Do you reconcile your bank statement?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So it's not there. If it's there, I've seen it. So I know I haven't gotten it yet. So we're looking forward to, and just a final word for all business people, please make sure, just Ms. Noel brings the point there, make sure your bank information is accurate. A lot of people miss out on the first round of stimulus package because their information was not correct, was not accurate. So your bank, the name on your bank should match the name on your business and should match the name on your tax ID or tax information. Then the other thing that you need to check is that the address on your tax information should match the address on your company, on your business, and should match your bank address. Now, this is very, very easy to check and fix. Now, when you don't do this, once you put it in the computer, once you send it to SB or wherever, and they put it in, and the addresses are not matching, so that's right, there's a red flag, and that they kick off your application to the side, and a lot of times,
it falls through the cracks.
Yes, a lot of the things were denied because of that. Right. All right, so it's time for us to go. Thank you so much for joining today. So, Ms. Noel, any last words to our people?
No, I can't think of it.
All right.
Just have a good day.
Have a good day.
And the weekend's coming up, and it's supposed to be beautiful. Just enjoy all this beautiful fall weather.
Yes, fall is here. That's my favorite time of the year.
Too.
Really. So please also check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify. Check it out on Google. And then check us out on Apple. We're an Apple podcast. So all these platforms are on. So join us, and also join us to follow. If there's any breaking news, we're going to share that with you during the week. If there's any breaking news with the stimulus. As I'm with you right now, I'm actually connected to Washington, trying to see if there's any movement between Pelosi and Munchin. How do you say his name?
Munchin, I guess.
Munchin. Yeah, mine's munching too much. Give us some money, man. Stop munching. All right. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you for joining.
Bye-bye.
Good afternoon.